There truly is a lot to go over right now. We have nailed all of the upsets on the AFC side. We've diagnosed the script for the NFC Championship game when the 49ers were trailing by all these points. Uh, 7-for-7 run to end the playoffs. That's basically what's going to happen. Uh, there's no other chance of anything else happening except that happening. Swift is come on to 77. I finished 7-for-7 because I've correctly diagnosed the Super Bowl matchup and the winner before Patrick Mahomes played his first road playoff game of his career. There is just no chance of the Chiefs not winning with Taylor Swift in the stands. It's all about Taylor. It's all about the Taylor Swift stance. It's the ninth repeat in the history of the NFL against the Niners, the ninth repeat in the history of the NFL. And this is what it comes down to. Mahomes taking the torch from Tom Brady. Great entertainment value. NFL is all about creating new ways of making revenue. So Taylor Swift fans will tune into the boyfriend next year. The Taylor Swift saga will continue all the way up to next year, all the way up until when the Chiefs lose in the playoffs again. So people are going to really hate on Kansas City. They're going for the three-peat. People think Mahomes going to win 7 rings. ESPN's already talking about it. Who's closer to chasing Brady or Belichick? Andy Reid. This was before the game was played today, mind you, but it was very easy. How was it easy? Because they'll have different teams in the Super Bowl next year. Because next year was supposed to be Detroit, they were obviously going to lose this year. I think Dan Campbell took the eat pretty well going for those 4th downs. Obviously, it doesn't make any sense to not kick the field goal. You take the win probability, you take the points any day of the week. 27-10 versus 24-10, what have you. I know it was like 24-7. So you take the 27-7 any day of the week, but it was part of the script. Same old lines as it pertains to next year. And so because Dan Campbell has to make it back to New Orleans where he was an assistant coach with the Saints, he just didn't have a chance of winning the game today. Then you follow the Jared Goff riddle, winning the NFC title at New Orleans and making it to the Super Bowl again at New Orleans, just he didn't have a chance of winning the game today. There was no chance they were not going to have Patrick Mahomes. And you see, this is the thing. This is the meme that was put out. Conspiracy land was all over the place today. So at the beginning of the day, it was Super Bowl callers, Ravens, Niners. Then we get to just over halfway through the day. Next, it was Eminem against Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl. And then third, Niners Chiefs was not even considered. The Super Bowl everyone thinks we're going to get. Ravens, Lions, that's actually next year's Super Bowl. This is how I knew the two teams had no chance of winning, because you have to look ahead to next year. And by the way, this is a perfect example of why you should really look towards the next year, just to see, okay, if it makes sense for Detroit to make it next year, it doesn't make sense for them this year. If it makes sense for General Jackson to lead the troops to victory in the Battle of New Orleans, then just the Ravens, we're not going to make it next year. Sorry, the house always wins. Las Vegas not going to pay out all these people driving out from California. This is the We Hate the Chiefs Super Bowl. Las Vegas ready to play with the emotions of the public. Look at all these chads out there. These guys are blowing up because Taylor Swift is in the Super Bowl. These guys are blowing up. They did not want to see Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl. These chads out there are absolutely imploding right now. They're not paying out these people driving all the way out to California to bet. It is about record-breaking profits. The 49ers are losing. Nobody had the Chiefs halfway through the year. The house always wins. This is Patrick Mahomes' legacy. This is Patrick Mahomes' storyline. This guy wins when you don't expect him to win. It doesn't matter if he's not playing at Arrowhead. He's getting the job done. End of story. His 23rd win against the NFC in the Super Bowl, regular postseason included. The number one reason why the Niners are fried is Steve Wilks. He is awful defensive coordinator. The Niners are one of the worst teams on third down. They have not faced a Josh Allen. They have not faced a Lamar Jackson. They have only faced a rookie Jordan Love and Jared Goff. He's good, but he's not the best. He's not top tier like the AFC quarterbacks are concerned. The Kansas City Chiefs are laying the nail down on the hammer. I mean, this defense is soft. There's going to be no issues whatsoever. Patrick Mahomes is the golden boy. He gets the job done in the Super Bowl. Now is he able to catch Brady? Is he able to catch Brady? Taylor Swift is not losing the Super Bowl, people. This is the Taylor Swift Super Bowl. NFL is top-notch entertainment. It's not even top-notch sport. It's top-notch entertainment. It's top-notch pop culture is what the NFL has become right now. Today, right now. It has already been. People, everybody hopes the Niners beat the Chiefs. Las Vegas gonna murder the public. I nailed the Super Bowl logo setup. Now we nailed the Las Vegas factor all the way up to the final game of the season. It is the top storybook ending out there, blowing kisses to Travis Kelce midfield with the Lombardi trophy. It already has been written. Niners, ninth repeat against Niners. Against a team that Joe Montana did win a repeat in his career. Patrick Mahomes going to win one himself. Terry Bradshaw did. Troy Aikman did. Bradshaw won 2 back-to-backs. Brady won back-to-backs. Mahomes is next. The Niners passed on Patrick Mahomes. Before we get to Patrick Mahomes, they passed on Tom Brady, for crying out loud. They passed on Tom Brady. They are not winning the Super Bowl. And what if we had Tom Brady? This is the worst decision ever in the history of football. Not passing on Mahomes because they've been 6 other teams that passed on Mahomes. But you have to decide Tom Brady. How do you not take advantage? You lost the Super Bowl 41 because you did not sign Tom Brady. That was an easy Tom Brady and McCaffrey. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine Tom Brady and McCaffrey? He still threw a pick. He should have honestly thrown a pick last week. Yeah, it was scripted for them to drop the interceptions, but honestly, he should have really thrown one against the back. I mean, people are dropping Kaepernick's interceptions all the time, and he still threw the interception in the Super Bowl. And the fact is, you don't have a quarterback if you passed on Patrick Mahomes. It ain't just about Tom Brady. They passed on Patrick Mahomes. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, what could have been. You're still the same defense even without Solomon Thomas. He's not on the team anymore. There's no Solomon Thomas on that team. You still have Nick Bosa and Patrick Mahomes. You had one job, is to find that elite quarterback. And Josh Allen still hasn't beaten the Chiefs. With the 10th pick that they got from Buffalo, the Chiefs selected Patrick Mahomes from the pick that they got from Buffalo. And I don't expect anything different to happen to the 49ers, who had the 3rd pick, and instead 7 picks later, Patrick Mahomes gets taken off the board. Plus, what's Taylor Swift's numerology really about? You see, why was the score 16-7 against the Dolphins at halftime? Why was it 16-7? Andy Reid's gonna be 16-7 in the postseason. He's gonna win a repeat right after the death of number 16, Phil Dawson. It'd be Travis Kelce, 16th playoff win. Taylor Swift is 16-7 light path. You see, if Taylor Swift is 16-7 light path, Andy Reid already has gotten that 16th win against the Joe Montana team. Joe Montana, number 16. Phil Dawson, number 16. 16th playoff win for Travis Kelce. The love story, it all comes to the NFL champions. Another championship for Travis Kelce. And if they're really talking about Andy Reid retiring, then he should win the Super Bowl. If Andy Reid is going to retire, if there's really rumblings about Andy Reid retiring, the Chiefs going to win the Super Bowl and the Chiefs will be done. Until 64, 65, Chiefs will still win some championships, but there's going to be a little point in time where your Jim Harbaugh, your Bengals, and the Ravens. You see, the AFC has become what the NFC was during the 90s. You know that they're just the best conference in terms of quarterbacks. And what about Lamar Jackson? He's already won the Super Bowl next year. I've done 9 or 10 videos before the games were even played. Lions, Ravens. Lions had no chance. It was never a doubt. It was never being threatened about the Lions making the Super Bowl prematurely. This was never a doubt. Because, again, Dan Campbell, part of a 25-point lead. The Giants collapsed in the 2003 playoffs at the 49ers, and history repeated itself. My friend's a Raider fan, so he don't like any team in the Super Bowl. So he was like, hey, Niners lost NFC Championship, lost to the Giants. Hey, Dan Campbell with the Giants. But just the collapse, the 25-point collapse just held precedent over the fact that the Niners last NFC Championship loss was to the Giants. I'm not going off emotions. The public are going off of their emotions, their hatred of the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. Chiefs are winning. There ain't nothing they can do about that. The public is going off of their emotions, their hatred of the Chiefs. The fact that they can't stand hearing about Taylor Swift. I don't think for a second that everybody's going to be crying. The Swifties will be happy because that's who the NFL is catering to this year. There ain't nothing you can do about that. Public's going off emotions. They hate the Chiefs. Plus, you're not winning a Super Bowl if you pass on Tom Brady. You pass on Patrick Mahomes. You still don't have a quarterback. Patrick Mahomes is that little baby goat. No, the people are coming from California in the Super Bowl. They're betting all their money on the Niners. It's quite the opposite. They're not paying that money out. All the way up to the last game, everybody driving over from California, they're going to bet the house on the Niners. That's bad for business. Baby goat gets the victory. 49er fans hate the Chiefs. They're crying, but they passed on Patrick Mahomes. They did not even give Tom Brady the chance to sign with the team. This is all that matters right now. It's the Taylor Swift Super Bowl. I have not seen the numerology for the Niners. I have not seen it. I have still yet to see it because it does not exist. Someone's going to be smiling. It's going to be Jim Harbaugh. York loses again. They pass on. They absolutely screw Jim Harbaugh. The egomaniacs kick them out of San Francisco. Jim Harbaugh gets to see them lose the Super Bowl again. Baby goat with the Super Bowl victory. 3-1 in the Super Bowl. The goat is 31. State Farm 31. Remember, the inevitable Lakers championship. More to come on the player profile of Jason Tatum. This is going to tie into the championship for the NBA. The Kansas City Chiefs and the coronation of GOAT King LeBron James. This is what it comes down to. Kansas City Chiefs, GOAT King LeBron, his coronation. He wins with 3 different franchises. Now he's got to win the championship in front of the fans. Taylor Swift, for the victory. 7 for 7. It's not only 7 for 7 for me to be perfect in the last 3 rounds of the playoffs, but it's going to be 7 for 7 for the Chiefs. 7 for 7 in the playoffs. 3 games last year because they had to buy 4 games this year. That's 7 for 7 to win the repeat. That's gematria of Swift. Numerology don't exist. Kyle Shanahan is 16-7 light path. Andy Reid gets that 16th win and gets a 16 light path. Taylor Swift is 16. It's all evolving around Travis Kelce. The Chiefs have the better storyline. They've got the romance. Taylor Swift. It ain't that hard. Taylor Swift is not losing the Super Bowl. There'll be a lot of crying on SportsCenter. I can't wait for it. Lots of crying about Taylor Swift. All right for Taylor Swift. The 40-liner pollution, man, it will be no tomorrow if we hear all of that pollution from the Bay Area. Oh, we cry on the refs. Oh, my Lord. Well, I have no sympathy for them at all because you had Tom Brady. This was the perfect 8-3 for Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. No. They blew it. This is the worst decision in the history of football. It's the worst decision in the history of football. They refused to sign Tom Brady. These people are insane. They're kicking rocks right now. This is the perfect storyline for Taylor Swift. There'll be a lot of crying from the Chads out there, but this is the Taylor Swift Super Bowl. Next repeat. Don't figure. Troy Aikman on the 90s. Patrick Mahomes is next. Andy Reid's going to surpass Bill Belichick in the Super Bowl when he wins the Super Bowl. Already chose the referee. State Farm's 31, 3-1. Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. The Taylor Swift. This is the Taylor Swift Super Bowl. I'm still waiting to hear the numerology on the other side. I'm not hearing it. I'm not hearing it at all. It doesn't exist. I would be hearing, 16, all that night. I'm not hearing it. They could have taken Mahomes with the 3rd pick in the draft. The Niners lose their 3rd Super Bowl against Patrick Mahomes. A 3-day numerology, the 3rd Super Bowl loss, the 3rd victory in the Super Bowl for Andy Reid, the 3rd victory for Patrick Mahomes. No, this is not numerology. That's gematria. You see, you don't know real numerology. That's not numerology. That's gematria. That's not reducing the day, month, and the year to a single digit. You don't know numerology even if you try to understand it. That's gematria. Numerology is taking her birthday and reducing it down to single digits. Taylor Swift is 16 because it's all about the Len Dawson script. They were not going to pay out these Ravens people. They're not paying out the 49ers people. Las Vegas is making record-breaking profits. Taylor Swift takes the spotlight. It's not that hard. Baby goat Patrick Mahomes. They passed on Mahomes and Tom Brady. A game-winning touchdown. Travis Kelce, MVP of the Super Bowl. Hey, Travis Kelce. I think we should see Taylor Swift in the Lombardi presentation. She'll be part of the Lombardi presentation. Let's have a concert after the game at the Las Vegas. Show me the after party of Taylor Swift and the Kansas City Chiefs players get to celebrate their Super Bowl victory. That's not weird. Have you read the comments on SportsCenter? People hate Travis Kelce. They hate the Chiefs. Everybody hopes the Chiefs lose. What planet are you living on? There's lots of crying because the Ravens lost today. What world are you living in? At home, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. This is your problem. Okay. Okay, I will give you my cash app here. I mean, these 49er fans are delusional. They could have had Tom Brady. This is the worst decision in the history of football. They don't understand. This is Taylor. They're not going to make Taylor Swift lose. No wonder why 49er fans have such a low IQ. No wonder why. They're delusional. They're not paying them out. It's not happening. You know how close California is to Nevada? Is it legal to bet in California? Use your head. Use your head. Super Bowl psyop was not going to happen. We knew it wasn't going to happen. They're not going to just, oh, free money, here you go. We like giving away money. No, that's not Las Vegas. Yeah, as they say, 42 in the black quarterback. Black quarterback got away on the 42nd day, but it's not Lamar Jackson. Again, this is what it comes down to. You'll have to go 30 years without a title because you don't have Patrick Mahomes. You don't have Tom Brady. That just boggles my mind. How do you not sign Tom Brady, he's a homeless bum begging to play for the Niners? Give me a job. I love that team. Tom Brady wins. Mahomes wins. Tom Brady wins. Tom Brady is your winner of the Super Bowl. Tom Edward Patrick Brady. No. Mahomes is not winning. It's Lamar Jackson next year. 59 is the gematria of Negro. It's going to be a full-blooded black quarterback next year. I guarantee you. Objectively, 59 points, week 1, 2019. It just screams next year's Lamar. People think he's a running back going through the interception. But the Ravens sold out the game. They sold out the game today. Lamar, the timing was off. The game was sold out. The game was sold out. I think the NFL should give it back to the Ravens. Give one back to the Ravens. I think they'll give one back to Dan Campbell and give him the NFC next year. Dan Campbell knew the game was scripted. The Lions are in the Super Bowl next year. This is the most easiest future next year is Lions NFC. And I'm great because by win probability, by percentages, NFC is weak, so it's a given. Start out with the Lions to win the NFC. What was the latest comment that came on my chat? Not here on the chat. Chief Blue 4293 says, doubting Mahomes is a terrible idea. I agree. Doubting him just because he's playing on the road is a terrible idea. This is why he's called Money Mahomes in the playoffs in the first place. I agree with Chief Blue 4298. I think doubting Taylor Swift is even a worse idea. Doubting Taylor Swift is a worse idea. Plus, the NFL hates the Raiders. Are they really? Let's talk about emotion right here, man. I could be all emotional. Oh, why are they helping this team win the Super Bowl again? I don't know why people think I'm a Cardinals fan. I mean, I really hope the Raiders will win the Super Bowl. You're not winning anything. Sorry, NFL hates the Raiders. Mark Davis is a cuck. This is a impoverished franchise. The Raiders are a poverty-ass franchise. NFL hates the Raiders. This is their punishment for trying to keep the AFL. They're still punishing them, even though Al Davis is no longer there. Chiefs win the Super Bowl because Mark Davis is a cuck. The NFL hates the Raiders. The team the NFL hates the most is the Raiders because they wanted to keep the AFL. They were against the merger. So they're going to punish this team some more by having the Chiefs win at Las Vegas. Man, this is stupid. I love the Italian organic. I love this. Pizzolato. Okay. What kind of certification label is there? Certified organic like BOSR. I'm not sure what that is. I drink real wine. I don't drink the other crap. Do you guys really think they are going to let Taylor Swift loose? Brock Purdy's a good storyline. These were the best storylines. Brock Purdy to win, Mr. Irrelevant. Taylor Swift to win. See her boyfriend win the Super Bowl. You go with the two best storylines. This is how the Ravens and the Lions, we knew they'd lose. But it's the Taylor Swift show. It's all about Taylor. Plus, the whole Tom Brady angle I've been talking about all year long is going to hold true. When you break down the exact detail, if the Niners passing on Mahomes, he was the third pick, they can lose their third Super Bowl. But yeah, I'll get the Kleenexes for the Chads out there, for the 49er fans out there. You know, this is the Swift Kelsey show. There's nothing they can do about it right now. There ain't nothing they can do about that. Travis Kelsey scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl. How about that? I mean, which road to the Super Bowl is tougher? Having to travel to the Bills or the Ravens, or face off against two teams without playoff experience, the Packers and the Lions? I mean, the Chiefs will just show that they are the better team. The Lions were playing their first road playoff game. You only beat the Dallas Cowboys if you're the Green Bay Packers. They're a comedy show over there at Dallas. They're a joke. Is Andy Reid going to retire? You guys think he's going to retire? Or he's great. He's going to keep on going. But he's 65 years of age, repeat 65. It's pretty easy. Ninth repeat against the Niners. That's the script. Ninth repeat against the Niners. So there's Andy Reid passing Bill Belichick in coaching wins. Travis Kelsey's going to pass Jerry Rice, most playoff games with the touchdown. You think he's going to get 15 or 16. So when they mentioned that stat during the broadcast, it was like, okay, Kelsey's going to surpass Jerry Rice for most playoff games with a touchdown, and they're going to beat the Niners in the Super Bowl. Yeah, you're welcome, man. Yeah, I mean, this is my real Cash App name. It's Big Baller T. Yes, I am. Big Baller T. Cash App. That's the Big Baller T right there. Because I'm a big baller, and I'm always back for more, even when I lose. And I still end up winning. But yeah, what they'll never ever do again is predict the Dallas Cowboys win the Super Bowl. Maybe the ego took over, try to get a Super Bowl pick 7 years in advance. Maybe it was ego. Maybe it was. It probably was. Plus, Dallas Cowboys did equal Las Vegas, Nevada. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, they got to always look out for the double code. Yeah, Las Vegas factor, the hate factor, Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah. But yeah, the Bill Vinovich, the Weiner fans will really hate him if he favors the Chiefs again, because Bill Vinovich was the referee of Super Bowl 54. If you watch that Super Bowl, they were not calling holding against the Chiefs, but they were calling holding against the 49ers. So they really hate Bill Vinovich. They really hate Vinovich, the 49ers. Vinovich is the same referee of the first Niners Chiefs matchup. So with that being said, how Vegas is Gematria Super Bowl 54 matchup. So that, Super Bowl 54 matchup, you could say, hey, Bills make it because Bills is the same Gematria as Vegas, but sometimes the number, the 54 for Gematria Vegas, rematches Super Bowl 54 at Vegas having Gematria 54. his last 5 years, winning the AFC 4 times. If you're Patrick Mahomes, yeah, that's the thing, man. They were plus 150. Were they as high as plus 180 or were they higher? Because I placed my wager on Saturday. So money was on the Ravens. So this is how we knew the Ravens going to take a dive because all the money was flowing in on Baltimore today. Ray, no hates the Ravens. They just cannot doubt. You cannot doubt it at this point. They hate the Ravens so much. They have the two most hated teams in the Super Bowl. The two most hated teams are the Raiders. Mark Davis really is a cup. We don't even need a. We're definitely. Oh yeah, I know. And there's a whole channel dedicated to exposing the scammer. Yep, there's a whole channel called Sports Gematria, the real truth about Hackery Hubbard, aka AFTC, after the fact check. Doesn't bet, doesn't do anything, just like a bum, just cries and begs for donations just so he doesn't have to work because he's a bum. That's who that guy is. Don't bet, don't make right picks. Freeloading bum, free riding bum. Yeah, so it's not coincidental for me that Kyle Shanahan had 16-7 life path. People can be all emotional. Say, "Oh, Niners have been waiting for one." Well, Buffalo waiting for one too. I mean, they didn't give it to Buffalo this year. But I mean, there have been people in this Gematria community that have predicted against the Chiefs for both of their Super Bowls. They went with Jimmy G at Miami. They went with the Eagles last year. So I don't. I just would not make that same mistake. But I mean, yeah, I'm sick and tired of the Chiefs winning, but it's the Taylor Swift Super Bowl. The NFL is in bed with the Chiefs. Now she's going to fly back from Japan and make it in time for the game. Japan is the Matcha 42. I can't say it'll be 4-2 in the Super Bowl with a win. You just think back to Patrick Mahomes. 6 AFC titles, 4 wins for, if you're Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City Chiefs. And, that'd be 6 Super Bowl appearances and 4 wins, That's Gematria 49ers. So this is what we predicted before the week, and you can interpret their Super Bowl appearances as well. 6 appearances, 4 victories. Len Dawson, number 4. Len Dawson is no, he was not number 4. You're right. I've been talking about number 16 during the stream, but he was the winner of Super Bowl 4. So that fourth Super Bowl win for the Chiefs is going to be a tribute. This repeat is a tribute to the victory of Len Dawson in Super Bowl 4. So when I think of the fourth Super Bowl, I'm thinking all the way back to Len Dawson. Dead on the 24th day, August 24th, from 2 to 4 rings. 6 Super Bowls, 4 victories. On average, winning 2 out of 3 Super Bowls. That's 23. That's Las Vegas. So, you know, you win 2 Super Bowls out of 3 Super Bowls if you make it. If you win 4 Super Bowls out of 6 appearances. But remember, think back to Super Bowl 39. Was the last The last repeat occurred in Super Bowl 39, and Brock Purdy's from Arizona, and Arizona's Gamache 39. But that Super Bowl was at Jacksonville. Jacksonville's 133 and 43, which happens to be the gematria of Las Vegas, Nevada, which is 133 and 43. So the gematria of the last NFL repeat is going to absolutely hold inevitable significance to the next time that this event happens. Last repeat was at Jacksonville. Andy Reid was the loser, but he'll be on the winning side of it this time. Andy Reid was involved in the last repeat. Again, you have to ask, why is Jacksonville in Las Vegas, Nevada 133, and why is Brock Purdy 133 as well? And that same Gamache as Jacksonville. Well, maybe he's just not good enough. They call him Kaepernick, just another quarterback. And this whole seventh round Tom Brady thing, this may very well be a psyop, which it is. Although there could be a time where Kyle Shanahan will want to step down and become coach of the Vikings or something. Because this team's going to fall apart. I think the NFL knows the Niners are going to fall apart. They're hosting Super Bowl 60, and, home teams, they don't make it, except if you're an LA team. Then Super Bowl 61, Niners are not winning at the Rams Stadium, so they're cooked if they don't win the Super Bowl this year. Because the Lions, if the Niners face off against the Lions next year, the Lions are winning that game. And the Lions will beat them by double digits. What if it would be the same exact game, except that the Lions don't choke, that they just don't let the foot off the pedal the rest of the way? I got another comment on the channel too. Okay, this guy right there. I'm a no risk it, no risk it kind of guy. So, if the Lakers win the championship, then there's no chance they'll face anyone other than the Celtics. So Lakers over Celtics. Hey, it's the guy with the mafioso family, LOL. Well, that's good. People ask about AFTZ, and looks like he I live rent free in his head. So that's great. That's great. I believe in the work, and I am Kobe Bryant, and I am man of mentality, and I don't like the easy way out. I'm gonna go in, and I'm gonna go bet. I'm gonna challenge myself uh, to make the winning futures, all by myself without any donation. So that's the Mamba mentality. It's very real. We don't stay down. We get right back up, and we continue the grind. Even in defeat. That's kind of what Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions are going to do. It's what the Mamba mentality is about. It ain't about how you start the season with the Cowboys. It's about how you finish the job. Expose the Super Bowl logo psyop and expose the Las Vegas factor with all the money flowing in from California. It's a winning year. It's a winning year. Yeah, I just feel the best game tomorrow. I'd feel is I don't. I do not see Milwaukee coming into Denver and beating the Nuggets. I can tell you that. I don't think the Pelicans have been doing well recently.
You sure about that? You sure about that? You sure about that? You sure about that? You sure about that?
Are you sure about that? This was NFL. I'm seeing. This is NFL.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
You sure about that? I bought them my ass off. They really thought, oh, the two called the callers for the last 2 years. This is our Super Bowl. Oh my Lord. They were really not going to have Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl. I'm still laughing my ass up. You sure about that? My Lord. The NFL on CBS is mocking the masses. Oh, my Lord. Well, yeah, obviously another Super Bowl victory and a player profile on Jason Tatum coming up. Anyway, how we do it on the poll? A coin flip for the Super Bowl, roughly around 50-50. 54% like Niners, 46 Kansas City. I'm sure this is a sample size for my community, obviously. I like to see what the bigger sample size of the general public has to say. So I'll go to NFL on ESPN and NFL on Fox and see what these polls say. Because over 70% had the Ravens to win the AFC title game. In my poll for the Super Bowl 58, 62% had the Ravens in my polls. So 41% had Niners against Ravens. 25% had 49ers and Chiefs. 14% Lions, Chiefs. 21% Lions, Ravens. I mean, they did want a Super Bowl rematch, just the wrong rematch. Not Ravens Niners. It's the other Super Bowl rematch because Vegas is gematria of the matchup of Super Bowl 54. Vegas is gematria 54. Just they're not going to pay people. I'll come from California. You cannot bet. It's illegal in California. Well, that must suck if you live in California. You can't even legally bet on sports. What the fuck is wrong with California? A bunch of losers. Bunch of incompetent losers over there. Colorado benefits, Arizona benefits. They get more revenue. Losing. California, enough said. California, enough said. But Steve Wilkes is the weak link of the 49ers. They're the one of the worst third down defenses. They're going to lose their third Super Bowl because they can't stop teams on third down. Steve Wilkes came over from the Panthers. Panthers come out to 53, 5-3 Super Bowl. Steve Wilkes is the weak link of that team. He's been talking shit about his former employer. He's been suing the Cardinals for discrimination, but only one team gave him a coaching job. It's Cardinals. It'd be karma if he loses the Super Bowl, honestly. Go Taylor. Taylor, gay. Taylor, gay. Taylor, gay. Five and 3 in the Super Bowl, San Francisco. It is Super Bowl 58. 5 Super Bowl wins and 3 Super Bowls. Super Bowl 58. I like that a lot. Now remember, repeated 65. No, I don't know how I entered 54. Repeated 65. First matchup at Florida. Florida come out to 65. Andy Reid, 65 years of age. He's 65. He'll be 66 March 19. He's born in year 58. I know I made a lot of Chiefs over Niners Super Bowl videos, but there's more to talk about. The curse of Santa Clara, the curse of Jim Harbaugh. The football gods are angry at the Niners. Passing on Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes with the third pick. I mean, where the hell is Solomon Thomas nowadays? Plus, it's going to hurt the Bears. The Bears passed on this guy. He wins 3 Super Bowls. He's got to hurt the Bears. Solomon Thomas is with the Jets. He was only with the Niners until 2020. Round 1, pick 3. They could have had Money Mahomes, and Mahomes going to make him pay for passing on him with the 3rd pick when the Niners lose their 3rd Super Bowl. And that's not the worst thing. The worst thing was passing on a 49ers fan in free agency, Tom Brady. Kyle Shanahan's ego is going to bruise him. The ego. Alex Smith, Andy Reid started out with Alex Smith during his time in Kansas City. Alex Camacho, 42. He starts out with Alex Smith, and then the Chiefs can become 4-2 in the Super Bowl. So I am looking at Alex Smith. Again, were you watching the same rigged game as I was when the Chiefs were facing off against the Dolphins? 16-7 at halftime. Andy Reid's going to be 16-7 in the playoffs with Kansas City. If I look at his 26 win in the playoffs of his entire career, Bay Area has come out to 26. His 26 win against the team from the Bay Area, Andy Reid. This is one of the worst draft picks of all time. You would think Solomon Thomas would still be on the team and be like Nick Bosa, right? But he's not with the team anymore. What's Kyle Shanahan? Kyle is the Macho 53-17. The 62 we already broke down. Patrick Mahomes 62. The referee is Bill Vinovich is going to prove the 6-2 refereeing Patrick Mahomes games. I did break down Bill Vinovich in another video. That's what we have to look out for. 6-2 as referee of Patrick Mahomes games, 8 games, 6 wins at Vegas. Maybe until they have another Italian quarterback, and maybe Joe Montana. If Montana was Italian, Jimmy G was Italian. They had Italian American owners, the DiBartolo family. But again, Purdy falls to 4-2 in the playoffs. It's not just about Japan equaling 42. It's not just about the Super Bowl on the 42nd day, but Purdy falls to 4-2 in the playoffs, 6 games and 4 victories, losing against the Kansas City Chiefs. Brock Purdy falls to 4-2. You're not facing off against the Niners have not faced off against the Bills. They got their ass kicked by the Ravens at home, and the Chiefs came in the Baltimore and they served them a can of whipped ass over there. I remember the commentator said during that Buffalo game, the Chiefs haven't allowed like a 400-yard pass or whatever the hell it was, but the Chiefs defense is underrated. I wish I would have remembered what Jim Nantz said as far as the Chiefs. I was calling my uncle today before he went to a friend's house. He was saying the same thing. Like, he remembers what Jim Nantz was talking about with the Chiefs. They didn't allow a 200-yard rusher, 100-yard rusher, whatever it was. So they didn't allow a team to 400 yards in the game defensively this year. So look, the Chiefs are good. And Taylor Swift sells. Swifty. Swift. But no bets on the Super Bowl. I just went with Chiefs to win the AFC in the parlays. It's good, today, secure. Went all out, balls out right there. With the portfolio, obviously, Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl is a given. So I trusted my judgment there to skip on the winner of the Super Bowl, just relax and enjoy show and Chiefs on the AFC and let Go Bond take care of the rest. And even if people know nothing about soccer, Argentina to win the Copa America at Miami, where Messi, the King's Palace, back home at Miami. A map of who America is rooting for in the AFC and NFC championships. The whole country rooting for the Ravens except for Ohio because of Cleveland fans, and Kansas City, Kansas, and Missouri. The whole country is rooting for the Lions except the state of California. So if we break down Las Vegas factor, we definitely did see the Las Vegas factor come into play for the entire duration of conference title day. No, Allegiant Stadium. I think one of the best references made all day long is the fact that Mahomes is 12-2 in the playoffs versus the AFC. This is one of the best talking points made by any pundit during the playoffs. Kansas City under 22 in San Francisco. So Camacho was correct. We had to break down the Golden Boy. And it just shows that, abbreviations is very real. You should break it down from the standpoint of abbreviations, the state and abbreviations. Nevada by itself and under 33 in Jacksonville was true, but also Las Vegas, Nevada in abbreviations. Now, remember, Las Vegas, Nevada is 43. Well, 4 Super Bowl appearances and 3 wins for Mahomes. That's a way of looking at the Camacho Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, I believe Mahomes is going to win another repeat. He's the 10th pick in the draft. He's going to win the 10th repeat in the NFL. Now, when is that going to happen? Would it be 63 and 64, or is it going to be 64 and 65? Well, repeats Camacho 65. Kansas City Chiefs is the big Camacho 64. So it's a given that the Chiefs win Super Bowl 64. But does he repeat in 63 and 64, or is it going to be 64 and 65? Now, if I go with the Freemasons, his 13th year as a starter would be in Super Bowl 65 because 19 he did lose to Brady. We're in year 6, 58. Year 12 will be 64. Year 13 will be 65. So let's just call and get the Super Bowl done with. I was very blasted after last year's Super Bowl. I had a lot of glass to pick up the very next morning when I nailed my playoff exacta last year. But I think year 13, Mahomes will get a second repeat. 13th year as a starter. 13th year as a starter. That's my theory. So Mahomes will get the 5. Yes, he will get the 5. That'll be 6 years without a title. So is it 12 Super Bowls combined between Brady and Mahomes, or is it going to be 13 like the Freemasons, like 13, 1 and 3 divides into .33? At least Al Davis never got to see the Chiefs become the way they are today. The Raiders are just a laughingstock. They are a team of characters like the Dallas Cowboys. It's the Jerry Jones show in Dallas. The Raiders, when they moved to Nevada, They have sold out. It was not about football. It's about making money for the owner. So Raiders are a poverty franchise. They could have fired Jim Harbaugh, but uh, freaking Max Crosby I like, but he's a loser. You like Antonio Pierce, but bring in Jim Harbaugh. Be a fucking winner, not a fucking loser. These guys are losers. They deserve everything that's coming their way. But yeah. Oh, the faggots that came on here and said I was being emotional. Well, why am I not picking against the Chiefs if I cannot stand the current state of affairs right now at the Raiders? Well, Raider fans don't like it when Kansas City wins. I told them they'd win last year, and they did. I want to see the Raiders win, but the NFL wants something to happen a little differently. You're playing something for Jim Harbaugh, too. So it is going to be a continuous state of purgatory. All I know is when the Raiders win the Super Bowl, it's going to be epic. Went from just win baby to just be mediocre and sell tickets and be a big cuckold, which Mark Davis is a cuckold. They're a joke. Used to be the winningest organization in professional sports all the way up till early 2000s. I mean, wow, what a long ass time ago that was. This used to be the winningest team in sports. I mean, Mark Davis is a disgrace. Why is not Jim Harbaugh in the Raiders? We will suck. I guarantee you, we will suck. I'm not delusional like over half of my fan bases. They think there'd be a better team than the Chargers. My God, they delusional or what? We need a Jim Harbaugh. It went from we're getting Jim Harbaugh to we wanted to support the Antonio Pierce. I'm Raider fans. We are just like Dallas Cowboy fans. I like these hoes. We are loyal. My God. They're not 40 wider fans just leaving the stadium all empty from 2015, 2014. Those little hoes over there ain't loyal. They're only loyal when their team wins. What a bandwagon franchise that is. Oh, my God. Nobody was showing up to Niner games when they were at 4 wins. These hoes ain't loyal. The whole fan base ain't loyal. They're a bunch of front-running gimmicks. That's what they are. At least Chiefs fans, they sell out even when they're 4-13. When they had Todd Haley, when they had Romeo Crennel. I mean, Chiefs are a good fan base. What can you say about them? They're a great fan base. Chiefs have a very loud atmosphere, even before the days of Patrick Mahomes. So, the Chiefs have a real fan base. I can't say the same for the 49ers. They're a joke. So I think Chiefs are going to represent well. They're going to win the Super Bowl. But that's not the main reason why they win the Super Bowl. The Kansas City Chiefs. It's not the competition. NFL hates the Raiders. Mark Davis is a cook. The Taylor Swift show. You should have had Tom Brady. You should have drafted Patrick Mahomes. Yep. My synopsis is correct. I'll get the Kleenexes ready. I will prepare the 41ers. I will prepare to the state of denial and then the state of acceptance. We have to reach that point eventually. My uncle doesn't think the NFL is rigged, so sometimes he can't stand my conspiracy theories, even though the logo psyop didn't happen. That video was funny. I don't get the delusional comments. It's like everybody's all hating on Kansas City. They're not hating on the Niners. They'll be done hating on Brock Purdy because they be hating on Taylor Swift. Did mommy or daddy not love you enough? Is that a family values? The family values for a quick turnaround to support your boyfriend, Travis Kelce. If you wanted to be in Japan, he'd be in Japan. But war commitments, career commitments, that's the real dilemma we all face with sometimes. Was Jason Kelce, was Andy Reid Jason Kelce's coach at any point? Is he gonna be rooting for Andy Reid in the Super Bowl? This is the Swift Kelce gang. Swift Kelce gang run the show. I think 2011 was Andy Reid's last season with the Eagles. Is my memory serve me correct? He was drafted in 2011. San Francisco State offensive line coach Andy Reid, 1983 and 1985. Over a decade before I was even born. Jesus Christ. He was coach for the Eagles until 2012. So Andy Reid, he knows Jason Kelce. Jason Kelce played for Andy Reid. So this is gonna be a big fun. This is yeah. Cardinals and Raiders, obviously, yep. But it's all rigged for Mahomes. Mahomes didn't break my heart last year because he made me money last year. Chiefs over Eagles playoff exact. That made me money last year, But I've yet to see the real franchise of the 49ers. I've yet to see they needed Tom Brady. They needed Patrick Mahomes. I'm just not seeing it. This is the most rigged championship ever for the Kansas City Chiefs. They've turned this into WWE pop culture. It'll be cool to see Joe Burrow in the playoffs. I think I would love to see Joe Harbaugh win a Super Bowl. Too bad it's not the Raiders, but Raiders suck. What can you do about it? It is outside. It's outside your control. Don't be all butthurt just because the billionaires didn't script it correctly to what you want. That's all I have to say. Baseball's rigged. Yep. Dodgers will not win the World Series next year. Everyone's going to bet on the Dodgers. House always wins. Baltimore didn't win this year. The Dodgers are not going to win until a couple of years. I'll get the right year for the Dodgers. But they won't win this year. Casinos are going to lose too much money if the Dodgers win the World Series. I mean, they are the Brooklyn Bums. And they're the worst win percentage in the World Series. We are dealing with the classic Brooklyn Bums from the Brooklyn Dodgers, right? Please tell me you know what I'm talking about. They bombs lose 7 World Series, and then they finally win one, 1955. You have to know the history of the Brooklyn Bomb Dodgers. Super Bowl 100. I think C in Roman numerals is 100. How many years after Gold King of Bronze Championship would that be? That's great. That's a great Super Bowl 100. How old are you? I mean, the elite are particularly in the rituals. There's something ritualistic going on when they can fumble inside the 2 yard line against John Elway when he goes 99 yards for a touchdown. So all of this crap that has happened with Cleveland is not happening by coincidence. It is scripted as part of rituals. And what happened between the Indians and the Marlins, they blew it again in that game. So yeah, Cleveland's had a hard time with the elites. Whatever reason why Cleveland is supposed to be so bad in professional sports, I have no idea why. You won't be alive, but you'll be in heaven. You'll know everything that happens in real life and everything. I believe. So even if my uncle's a fan of the Cardinals and you'll never see them win the Super Bowl, I believe you'll be all knowing when they do in the next life. Andy Reid gonna surpass Bill Belichick in the Super Bowl. I'll break down the Gamache of Belichick. They're really shaming this guy to death, aren't they? When I look at the Gamache of Belichick equaling 62, I'm looking at the record of the referee with Patrick Mahomes as quarterback. So if the Niners are screwed by the referees, then the cabal have scripted it around the gematria of Bill Vinovich record with Patrick Mahomes as quarterback. It'll be close. I think it'll be close. I hope it's a blowout, but I think it's close. Game-winning touchdown, Kelsey. This guy is playing like he's a wide receiver, lined up outside and not inside. I think there's promise for a blowout. I mean, if this really is what the NFC and the AFC were in the 90s, then the AFC should be far better than the NFC. The Bills never choked the Super Bowls. Maybe the kicker did, but the Bills were just never better than those far superior teams in the NFC. The NFC East, the Redskins, the Giants, the Cowboys, and the Packers and the Niners. You just didn't have that in the AFC. Despite Buffalo being a really good team, they never choked those Super Bowls. Go Chiefs. Go Chiefs. Hopefully Purdy throws 2 pick sixes, hopefully. But it's just wishful thinking. Yep. It'll be a close game. That's a great question, but go Keenabon's the chosen one. Sports are rigged, man. Support your local high school team. I mean, I have no hope for the Cardinals or anything like that. So, or even the Dallas Cowboys of the college football Notre Dame. So, understand that scripting is very real and some things just never change. You see. But ninth repeat, Travis Kelsey is going to win. The Niners don't have any chance. I've done the Gematria up. Hmm. 2004, yep. 2004, 2005. So that'll be 19 years. I have a lot of videos to do, but I have far more research to do. I thought I talked about everything, but I don't think I have. Who's wearing which color in the Super Bowl? Who's the whole team? Who's wearing wider, solid collar? Who's wearing? Kyle Shanahan will choke the Super Bowl. He'll choke it for Swift. When's Kyle going to win the Super Bowl? Go Lakers. Hopefully, the Stephen Curry fanboys they're crying after the Super Bowl. Advertisement dollars may mean that this is a close game. If it's a close game, they'll be able to make the money for the advertisers who pay out for all these slots in the Super Bowl. With the exception of all-time great defenses like the Bucks and the Ravens and the Seahawks, relatively every Super Bowl has been a very close game, and you're selling these advertisement slots because the gold rush is over. You had your gold mine with the Golden Domer helmet. Montana played at Notre Dame. He's the Golden Domer. And he played with the 49ers. So it was scripted for the Niners to draft Joe Montana. These Super Bowls were scripted for the Niners. Tom Brady said, go get him. Don't take the torch. And that's why I look at it with Tom Brady with Lamar Jackson. Lamar's going to easily win next year. It just compounds leaving Cleveland and winning 3 titles. It's else rigged for Lamar and win a championship. Ravens won't lose next year's Super Bowl. They'll be 3 for 3 like Cleveland having Gematria very good. Well, you're a great WWE actor. You couldn't script any better if Jim Harbaugh got revenge against Jed York for forcing him out. That'd be a great script, but it sounds so good to be true. I'll love that to happen, though. Don't get me wrong. Lots of people had bets on the Niners all season long. Las Vegas going to swoop in and murder the public. These people are ruthless. They don't give a damn how people feel. Las Vegas is ruthless. He doesn't have Taylor Swift. He's not Tom Brady. And who could have the 49ers have had? Tom Brady. They don't have Tom Brady. It is a designed psychological operation. Again, there have been people who predicted the Niners to win both Super Bowl 54 and last year's Super Bowl and even Super Bowl 56. But it's not happening because it's very easy. This is the Taylor Swift Super Bowl. His next Super Bowl title will probably be Super Bowl 64. It's gonna be the end of that little streak there for him because you have your Jim Harbaugh, you have your Lamar Jackson, you have your Joe Burrow. Again, I see this the AFC as the best quarterbacks. I went to ASU. James Daniels is an ASU quarterback. Raiders have a strong chance at Daniels. You need to be cool. Let's go to Kansas City. Be cool. Don't be like the 49ers. Oh, it's cool kids. Go to Kansas City. Cool kids get their job done. The Chiefs will not make it to the Super Bowl for the next 5 years. Now, what you don't know is if Andy Reid's can retire after he wins this year. He may retire, maybe not, but I think he will. Patrick Mahomes can have a 3-1 record in the Super Bowl. The State Farm is 31. First playoff winner was Houston. Houston 31. I don't think Las Vegas is done, ladies and gents. Las Vegas is going to take the public on a joyride. We're not through the roller coaster yet. First step was having the Ravens lose. The next one is having the 49ers lose. So depending on who the public is betting on for that matchup between San Francisco and Baltimore, both teams will lose. And nobody thought the Chiefs would win. I can't believe I'm explaining this to people. I mean, who cares about Brock Purdy? It's about Taylor Swift. Taylor Swifties are making the NFL money, not Brock Purdy. So NFL, they're giving the Chiefs the Super Bowl if they're making the NFL more money because of all the Swifties. Don't be a hating Chad or any of these people out there who start hating on Taylor Swift. NFL will give the Chiefs Super Bowl because Taylor Swift is making these guys lots of money. Travis Kelce's making the NFL lots of money with this relationship with Taylor Swift. Just don't be a hating ass bum. That's all I have to say. Am I able to get videos done? I think I can. Let's get to the grind. Taylor Swift not losing the Super Bowl. I'll tell you, Swift is going to lose the Super Bowl. Really.